won't spend a lot of time on this, though it's the most important thing, but money. I've learned that even ad sales are likely to be collaborative. Citizen journalists, citizen sales. We have to open up the businesses too. This came out of a conference that we held here at CUNY in New Business Models for News. I won't bore you with it so we can talk. I don't have the solutions. Nobody has the solutions. Clay Shirky, have you all read Clay Shirky's essay, Thinking the Unthinkable? You have to read it. Google Shirky, S-H-I-R-K-Y, and the word unthinkable. You'll find it. It is a brilliant essay about the economics of this world and the assumptions of this world, post-Gutenberg, post-Google. And it's critical to see that what Clay says at the end is, we don't know what's going to work. We have to experiment. That's the point. My friend Nick Denton says it's too late for experimentation, but we don't have much choice. We've got to try things. So at the New Business Models for News project, we are trying to flesh out these models in the hopes of aspiring people to try things. We're working with entrepreneurs and companies that are trying to do new things so we can see what works and share best practices. It is urgent work. I can't go without a plug for the book. So some of the lessons I learned looking at Google include the idea of Google's growth came not from borrowing huge amounts of capital to buy the world. Google created platforms and networks to enable people to succeed on their own. And that's how we have to think. Google opens up collaboratively. It opens up betas. That's important. Craig Newmark created Craigslist, and then he got out of the way. He didn't know people would use it. He didn't know that after Katrina, people would use Craigslist to find jobs and homes and each other. He put this quote up there and he's surprised. When you're surprised how people use it, when they take it over from you, that's when you've won. When you hold control, that's when you're losing. When you lose control, you win. Imagine if Microsoft had created Craigslist. It would have come with a thick manual and a talking paperclip to tell you how to use it, right? Instead, Craig just said, I don't know, use this thing. And they surprised him. And it's a beautiful moment. Finally, AOL years ago asked, what business are we in? And they said, we're in showbiz. And so they merged with Time Warner. Bzzz. And I still have my stock from my EW days, and I'm very bitter about it. AOL should have seen they were a community company. They had all this great stuff, chat and homepage makers and all this wonderful stuff. They were Facebook before there was Facebook. Yahoo, the last of the old media companies, said, who are we? What are we? Same answer. Showbiz, man. And they hired a studio guy. They were bait for Microsoft for quite a while. They should have said, no, we're an advertising company. They had the advertising model from Google before Google did. They should have been Google. So we have to ask ourselves what our real value is in our industry. We can't go with our assumptions that it is putting out a product once a day, that it is speaking one way to an audience. We've got to rethink what our value can be. How do we help a community elegantly organize itself and its knowledge? How do we help them do it themselves? How do we add value to that? That's what we have to do in this world. And I don't have the answers. You will. That's why I teach. That's why I enjoy being here with Sandeep, because you're the folks who are going to reinvent it. I spent a lot of years in the industry, and we made some progress, but hit the wall. So you've got to break it open. So we have to ask, a little Nietzsche moment here, who are we really? So I'll end there so you can argue with me, yell at me, push anything. Come on out.
I think Jeff has given us a lot to talk about going forward. You guys have your cards. Please fill them out and pass them to the, or yell out, whatever. And I'll